Welcome to the Weather Gurus podcast for October 15, 2022. I'm your host, Tony. Thank you for joining me on this. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel for the latest on the lower 48 United States as well as the tropical outlook as well. Currently, we're looking at the National Radar and Satellite Composite courtesy of National Weather Service here. And what we have is a very quiet and tranquil night for most and evening for most of the United States. We do have that upper level low pressure that's still spinning in California and this desert southwest, producing some showers anywhere from Los Angeles out into the Inland Empire along the I-10 corridor all the way to the border and into the Grand Canyon Rim Country, Lake Havasu City and Phoenix down through Mesa and Tucson. These showers will continue all the way up through Flagstaff, Arizona too. Some of the high elevations picking up rain too as well. Heavy rain in the San Bernardino Mountains as well. Anywhere from the high deserts of Victorville, east of Victorville, over the 29 Palms, and down through the I-15 corridor from Murrieta, Temecula, Escondido, down to San Diego is actually picking up showers right now. So much anticipated surprise. These showers are all rotating around the low pressure out to sea in the Channel Islands, and they'll continue to be rotating, and these showers will continue to be rotating throughout the night. Showers are continuing in the interior here, all the way from El Paso up the I-25 corridor through Albuquerque as well. We do have an interior batch of showers here in Oklahoma City, just east of Oklahoma City of I-40. So if you're traveling I-40 between Fort Smith and Shawnee, Oklahoma, there's some heavy thunderstorms there and showers continuing there. Nothing too crazy, nothing severe, but they are producing some lightning and some heavy rain. Little Rock, Arkansas, along I-30 there, some heavy rains in Hot Springs and Little Rock, Arkansas there as well. And then elsewhere, we have some showers up in the upper peninsula of Michigan, some snow showers in the upper peninsula of Michigan, just east of Marquette, Michigan, along I-75 and the Sault Ste. Marie Bridge there, and also coming down Traverse City and Cadillac, Michigan there along 31, Highway 31 there, 131. And besides that, everything else looks absolutely clear as well. Fabulous conditions in Seattle, Portland, and warm conditions all the way through San Francisco, the Bay Area. Salt Lake looks good. Denver looks absolutely fabulous. And out in the Northeast, from the I-95 corridor from Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York, Boston, Providence looks absolutely fabulous as well. So that's what we have going on in the national picture. Now looking at the National Weather Service hazards here. We have some hazards here, some red flag hazards and warnings here in the Cascades. So anywhere coming up any of the passes there, the Snoqualmie Pass, Whitehall Pass, Richards Pass, Stevens Pass, there's a red flag warning there in effect. There's some flash flood warnings obviously in effect for the interior Inland Empire. So everybody in Palm Valley, Palm Springs, down through the Coachella Valley, all of that area, there's a flood warning, flood watch there is in effect as well for this heavy rain that experienced the upper level low that we talked about earlier. So please be mindful if you're traveling along I-10 there, I-15 through the Mojave Desert and the passes up there, the Cajon Pass and the Tehachapi Pass there coming up through the other side through Lancaster and Palmdale. Please be careful that way too as well. We also have the flash flood warnings, of course, in the western Texas Panhandle, anywhere from Midland, Odessa, Texas, back through just east of El Paso, Texas, and down through the Red River Valley, Del Rio, Texas there. So be careful with the flash flood warnings there. We have other warnings that we have going on here. Once again, from eastern Oklahoma, from Tulsa, just south of Tulsa and Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, through the Wachita Mountains of Arkansas, Little Rock, Hot Springs, Conway, Arkansas. This is severe thunderstorm watch for that area, and severe thunderstorm warnings have been issued in that area. So along I-40 tonight, it's going to be a little bit rough there. And there's finally the last warning. We have a freeze watch, and this is for the Front Range, just east of the Front Range in Denver. So we're coming through 76, through Fort Collins, Boulder, Colorado, some of the northern suburbs of Denver. There's a freeze watch, and then also extending into Kansas, northwestern Kansas, and southern Nebraska, Chadwan, Nebraska, Kearney, places like that. There is a freeze watch, and as well as a freeze watch is extended for the just north of Chicago area into Wisconsin. So Waukegan, Milwaukee, Green Bay, Appleton, those areas in Wisconsin, you're under a freeze watch and warning as well for tomorrow morning. Rivers still remain slightly elevated here. The St. Johns River still remains slightly elevated. There is a flood warning for those who live along the banks of St. Johns River in Seminole County, extending into Volusia County and those in Cocoa Beach and Merritt Island may want to watch out as well as the Peace River through Polk County, Central Polk County, Arcadia, and those areas as well. It's going to remain elevated through next week. And so those are your national hazards. As far as National Hurricane Center, there is no tropical activity expected in either the Atlantic or the Eastern Pacific basins during the next 48 hours. Hurricane season ends November 30th. We have one more peak to go, which is going to take effect next week and the end of October. There's another storm that could be developing along the Central American gyre, this low which is going to be forming down here in this in the Southwest Caribbean Sea. A gyre is just a big area of low pressure that's going to be spinning, and sometimes storms fire up along the northern end of that towards Jamaica. So there's a chance that the GFS model and other models are hinting at that there's a chance of a tropical development in the Northwest Caribbean Sea by next Friday, and developing into a tropical storm. We'll have to wait and see how that develops. But typically we look for during October and November, climatologically speaking, you look for the Gulf of Mexico, the northern Gulf of Mexico, and the Northwest Caribbean Sea, and sometimes just off the coast of France, coming off the coast of Bahamas there, for those tropical storms to develop. But we have about 85% of the tropical storm activity done for the year. We still have about 20% remaining, and that occurs about from this time to November 30th. But as the water cools down and as the temperatures cool down, tropical development is going to be waning, as we know. So we could get another tropical storm or hurricane out of that deal, but it's starting to wane down now. It's just season's starting to wind down, so that's excellent news for everyone. All right, well, this has been your Weather Guru Report for Saturday night, October 15th, 2022. Thank you for joining me. Have a blessed night. Talk to you very soon.